Hello everyone, my name is Connor, and today we're going to be going over some tips to make your Chrome browsing experience more efficient. So to begin, we'll go ahead and open Chrome, and I already have 3 tabs here open for us to play with. And to begin, I'm going to go over some hotkey combinations that'll make browsing Chrome a lot faster. So first, what is a hotkey? A hotkey is when you hold in a modifier key, such as Command or Shift or Option or Control, and another key to evoke an option that would normally be able to be evoked via the user interface. So to give you an example of this, to add a new tab, you can go in the top menu bar here and select the plus new tab button. That'll open a new tab for you. In addition, you can also go to File, New Tab, and open a new tab. Now this is where you see the looped square next to the T. The looped square stands for the Command key on the keyboard. So if you go ahead and look at your Mac's keyboard, above the Commands key, you'll also see the looped square. You may know this as the Apple key, Clover key. Some people call it the squiggly button. The squiggly button is a command key, and that will allow you to evoke any action that you see within the menu bars here listed to the right of that option. Now some of them have more modifiers. For instance of this, so say we had this tab open here and it was open to the New York Times website. Then we went ahead and closed it using Command W. Command W closes all tabs. But we didn't really want to close it. So a for instance of this is we have to use 2 modifier keys. In this example, Command Shift T will go ahead and open your most recently closed tab. So in the example, if I accidentally closed the New York Times tab, you could easily reopen it using Command Shift T. Now usually anytime you apply Shift to the Command and then another Option key, it reverses what was done originally. To give you an example of this, Command T open a tab, Command Shift T opening the most recently closed tab. So it kind of acts as a secondary modifier to what the original was doing. We'll give you another example. Command N will go ahead and open a window. Now if we were to close this window that we just opened, we would use Command Shift W. Now the Command W should sound familiar because the Command W is actually used to close tabs, like I told you before. So go ahead and open a new window again just to re-explain this. Using Command N, and then if we wanted to close the window, Command Shift W. Now if we were to open a window and open a couple tabs within that window, to close those tabs, we would use Command W. And then once all the tabs are gone, the window will close as well. So if you're on the last tab here, you can use Command W, and it'll actually go ahead and close the entire window. Say we had multiple windows open, including an incognito window. To open an incognito window, you hold in Command Shift N. Again with the Shift modifier on top of the original hotkey combination. Incognito window is a very powerful feature. It allows you to go ahead and browse the internet without leaving any cookies or anything in your cache behind, and most importantly, it doesn't save any of your history. This can be great for educational purposes, of course. But I opened this to go ahead and show you something. So say you had the Command Shift N and you opened an incognito window and someone quickly approaches from behind you and you quickly want to remove all of the windows within Chrome. So right now you can see we have about 4 windows here open within Chrome. To do this, you can hold in Command H and immediately all of the windows, including the fact that the application was running, immediately close. It hides everything. So Command H will go ahead and hide everything. To re-evoke, you can go ahead and go to the Google Chrome button in the bottom bar. So we're going to go ahead and close these extra windows, go back to our original here. So now we have this window with 4 tabs in it. I'm going to show you how you can quickly switch between tabs and also organize your tabs in terms of pinning, bookmarking, and also creating a bunch of tabs within one window. So first, switching tabs using hotkey combination. Directly to the right of your spacebar, you'll have the Command, Option, and arrow keys. When you hold in Command and Option, you can use the arrow keys to navigate through tabs. This can become very handy for quickly switching through a bunch of tabs instead of having to pull your mouse to the top navigation bar. Why hotkeys are so excellent is because it allows you to keep your mouse actually within the page contents. So you don't have to move your mouse in the navigation bar up on top to go ahead and evoke actions. Instead, you can just keep your hands on the keyboard and navigate a lot more efficiently. Now, for something that doesn't have a hotkey combination, but on the front of organization within a window, it's called pinning tabs. So for instance, we might have our Twitter here, my Twitter, and what I want to do is go ahead and have this Twitter pinned to my browser because it's a tab that I'm always using, always accessing, and something that I'm definitely going to come back to. So to do that, I can go up here to the top navigation bar and right-click on that tab. If you're not familiar with right-click on the Mac, you hold in Control and just click normally. If you are familiar, you understand that in your system settings, you can do double tap, which can evoke a right-click on any Apple trackpad. Now, once you've right-clicked the tab, you can see you have the option to go ahead and pin the tab. When you hit Pin Tab, it'll drop Twitter right over there, all the way to the left, and it only pins the favicon. A favicon is the little icon that is to the left of whatever the title of the web page you are visiting on is. Now, a pin tab acts as any normal tab. You can go ahead and move it throughout. You can create a new window with it. And you can also close it traditionally how we taught you with the Command W. Now, say we were on the New York Times here, and we see that maybe these three other tabs, imagine, are all New York Times articles. So say we were done with those, we can go ahead and right-click using Control again, or double tapping if you have a trackpad, and clicking Close Other Tabs. So what that does is it closes everything but this original tab. Now this might not seem that useful, but let me give you an example. Say we go ahead here into the technology section, and we want to open a couple of today's top articles. To do this, we don't even have to leave this page. We can open those top articles in the background. Start by holding Command in and navigate the page normally. So right now I have the Command button held in and I'm navigating the page normally. I'm going to find a bunch of articles that I think might be interesting to read, and I'll go ahead and show you what I mean by opening them in the background. While holding in Command, I'm going to click on these articles' titles. Okay, so now I have these three articles open here. I'm going to use the hotkey combination of Command, Option, and then the arrow keys to navigate in between them. Now, as I finish each article individually, I could always hit Command W. And in the case of the New York Times, after reading and finishing an article, the Command W option makes sense. But imagine if this was Airbnb, we opened a bunch of listings, and so you would have the main Airbnb tab here and all of the listings preceding. Say you were just done with all of those listings and you found the one you want to close everything else except the one that you were on right now. Again, the Control, Close Other Tabs, and that'll allow you to do that. So it's something that is a really handy feature, but you have to understand where to use it and when to use it. Another topic that I wanted to bring up in terms of organization was creating windows for topics. So a lot of times people, have an end goal when they're browsing the web, and a lot of times that can be for maybe in terms of research or a multi-part project. By that I mean maybe a couple topics that you actually have to research all within one. So what I like to do when I have something like that task, I like to go ahead and open a couple new windows. And then what I do is I have each window act as basically a category. So this window might be for my tech stuff, then this window might be for maybe some music stuff, and the window behind it might be for social media stuff so I don't get distracted. This can be a great tool to go ahead and organize really quickly, especially if you're efficient with spaces or expose on Mac. Now I know this is a video about Chrome browsing and tips and tricks for browsing efficiency, but I also want to bring up spaces and expose because I really think you can get the most out of Chrome on the Mac operating system utilizing both of these tools. So spaces, as you know up here, is a great tool to go ahead and organize a bunch of tasks that you have running. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple spaces here, and I'm going to put these open windows in those spaces. Now, depending on how your computer is configured, you switch between spaces differently. If you're not familiar with this, I will put a little link at the bottom of the video here, which will send you over to my spaces video explaining how spaces work. But basically, now that I have them in my spaces, I can go ahead and quickly switch between all of these windows using a 4-finger swipe on my trackpad. In addition to that, if I take 4 fingers and swipe them up, I can see all of my windows that I have within the Chrome browser. So again, imagine each of these being a separate category, and imagine how efficient it is to be able to switch between them so quickly. Extensions within Chrome. So Chrome, the one thing that I have to say I do not like about Chrome is how they manage extensions. To manage extensions, you have to go to Window, and then down to Extensions. Now once you go down to Extensions, it'll pull up all the extensions that you have. So if you need to update any of your extensions, you can do so through this window. Again, to get there, you go to Window and Extensions. In addition, you don't have to necessarily uninstall an extension to turn it off. Say, for instance, an extension is causing a certain web page to have an issue. You can go ahead and disenable that extension by unchecking it within this page. As you can see, I unchecked the buffer extension, and now the buffer extension has disappeared. Recheck it, and there it is. To go ahead and delete extensions, obviously this trash can right here will delete those extensions for you. Now, to go ahead and download new extensions, you do this by going to the Chrome extension store. And the exact address of that is listed at the bottom of the video as well. Once you're in the store here, you can navigate around using their search, and you can choose any extension that you'd like to install. It's pretty basic from there. You can see what the extension includes, reviews, support, and go ahead and install it here. In addition, if you're looking to install any apps or themes to your Chrome web browser, you can also do that here. The very last thing that I wanted to touch on was bookmarks. To go ahead and bookmark something, you can do so by holding in Command D. Command D will immediately pull up the star right here to bookmark this, and you can title it whatever you'd like. So I'm going to title this NY Times, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on my bookmarks bar. Now the bookmarks bar you can't see right now, but once I add it, I'll show you what I mean. To evoke the bookmarks bar, if you do not see it in your browser, you can hold in Command-Shift-B. That'll drop down your bookmarks bar right below the navigation bar. However, I do not have the bookmarks bar open at all times. One, because it gives me more screen real estate for the actual web pages, and two, because anytime I go to open a new tab, the bookmarks bar will always be directly below the navigation bar. In addition, if you're running on the latest version of Chrome, you can see all your most popular visited websites directly below the Chrome search bar on the new tab page. Now, to manage bookmarks, delete bookmarks off of your bookmarks bar, you can do so using the Bookmarks Manager. You can navigate to the Bookmarks Manager via Bookmarks and then Bookmarks Manager. So say this was a paper that I was writing, and I had a bunch of sources in here, and I deleted a bunch of them, and now I'm only left with this video. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this folder. To do that, I hold in Control, click the folder, and then I can click Delete, and it'll delete the entire thing. Now, like we added before, the New York Times is located right here. We just bookmarked that. To go ahead and delete that off the bar, again the same options, right-clicking it using Control, and then navigating to Delete, and as you see, it deletes it right off the bar. In addition to that, there's also one more tip I'd like to bring up, and that is the plus and minus. The plus and minus allows you to zoom in and zoom out of web pages. This is great for pictures. So say we wanted to look at the Tesla Model S, and we really wanted to check out what the screen was like. We can hold in Command plus, and as you see up here, it tells you how far you are actually zooming in. So this is plus 200%. And now we're able to navigate around zoomed in 200%. And that is pretty much everything you need to know to start really browsing Chrome at a lot more efficient level. And it really gets your speed up for browsing web pages as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and comment with any questions you have below.